He's wanting to hide underneath the boat, John. There we go.
Hold that up, Bri.
Look at that, he's off in the net.
We're here on Mullet Lake up in Sheboygan. We're invading Brian and his guys' vacation. We just set up. It's early morning. Awesome, awesome fish. Hey, if you're looking for an awesome adventure at the end of the show, to be caught charters right on the hat, buddy.
We'll get you on fish.
That's right. We'll keep that one though, because the wives will never let Brian throw these back.
No. Holy cow.
Yeah, it does.
Get the board.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh, that's a line stretcher.
There you
John.
go. I even know what a bite looks like.
First time for everything.
So hey guys, what we're doing while Brian wrangles this fishing, we just lost a nice one on the outside on the other one too. Might have been a northern because it cut Brian off clean, but I was looking at those boards, and if you take a look at the boards, we're going so slow, 1.2, that sometimes just a board attitude change, like the butt being down, can be the only indicator you have of a bite. It's not going to yank it back like a Lake Erie 6 or 7 pounder. That's not the way it works when you're inland lake trolling at slow speeds with these death rigs. They're just really going to just change the attitude of your board, maybe pull it back a foot or so, but really, that's about it.
These fish are so solid. You grab them and they're just firm, nice healthy fish. What we're on right now is a crayfish bite. These fish, the mayfly hatch quit about the end of June, and we were fishing suspended. Now they're all on the bottom. It's a crayfish bite, and they are just full of them too. When you clean them, you'll have crayfish coming out of them.
What Brian means by crayfish bite is everything we're fishing today is within a foot or two of the bottom, period.
It is.
Everything. We have the same sets. We probably got 8 rods out right now. Every single one of those rods is set exactly the same to be within either on the bottom or within a foot of the bottom. When we set them on boards, we might shorten it up just a titch. This inland lake fishing isn't fast and furious necessarily like, you know, Saginaw Bay 30 fish days, but what it is it's awesome in the taste. Bri, these fish taste better than practically any fish, correct?
Yes, these are the best tasting walleyes that you will find. We got the cold water, it's clean.
They're inland lake.
They're beautiful fish,
Oh, yeah. 6 of these in a day, that's actually a fantastic day.
Yeah, and that's what most people want. They want enough for a meal.
Oh yeah, he's in it.
He's in it. There you go. Got her?
There he is. Oh, guys, look at this bugger. Get him in the boat.
Inland lake fishing is so much fun because of the challenge. I mean, Bri, you don't have any guarantees when you come out here, do you?
No, it's a very tough lake to put a guarantee on. I always tell people if they want to limit a walleye, you better go to Lake Erie, Detroit River. If you want a great time, a great experience, then you want to come up north.
And clean water and a great environment. If you want to learn how to fish and learn the details of fishing, Lake Erie or Saginaw are not the places to go. This is the place to learn how to fish.
This, you'll get your technique here.
Here, your process has to be right. If your process is wrong, you're not going to catch fish.
No.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Angler Quest, built with purpose. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. Strike King, tie one on. Garmin.
We all want to keep moving, and we all need fuel to do it. Now, with the revolutionary Flo-Fast system, you can fuel up and keep moving from literally anywhere. Flo-Fast will pump or siphon an amazing 8 gallons per minute, so you can get back to what you do best. To find out more about Flo-Fast, go to flofast.com. Flo-Fast. Fuel up. Keep moving.
Outside board.
Yep, fish on. Get him, John.
I was all over that one. Here you go, Bri.
Got it.
No, he didn't. He did not get off.
There's a keeper.
But there's the nice one.
Yep, nice fish.
Scooped him right in.
Well, we're gonna show you this. So that fish came on the Walleye Nation Creation Slow Death. We decided to start putting some of those out, and that wasn't out for very long at all. So one of the cool things about the Walleye Nation Creation Slow Death rig is you see the slow death hook is not even in the fish. See it sticking right out? They always seem to get hooked on this micro treble that's in front of that hook. And this perch was silly enough to come and look at that bait. We'll let her go. But again, the genius in this slow death rig is that I fish with it a lot now, and the treble hook does all the damage. They come up, they mouth it, you know, rather than having to slide all the way down to this bar, boom, they're instantly hooked with that little treble. And once that little treble gets them, they're done. And that's just a little spinny float, which you can do in lots of different colors, and it keeps it up off the bottom. That's a good fish, Bri.
Sure is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see color.
Oh yeah.
Nice and easy, Bri.
Yep.
Nice and easy.
That is a good one.
Oh, it's in that board, but that's a big fish.
That is a dandy.
Brian will show this off to you,
Michigan
boys.
There
Look
we go.
at that.
This was right on a bouncer right off the back. So what we're doing is we have all of our planer boards with 2-ounce bouncers off to the side. And then for a bonus rod, because we have enough people, we have 2 bouncers right out the back. And that one actually had an orange on it.
Orange spin and glow.
Orange spin and glow on it. And it's just keeping it up off the bottom. Keeps them baits just up off bottom. There's a lot of little perch weeds down there that take your crawler. So something with a floater is kind of handy when you're fishing a bottom bouncer.
The Walleye Nation Creation Slow Death rig we're going to show you again. The slow death hook is not in its mouth. He's caught on the treble. That is the concept that whole bait was premised on, is that when you're going slow, fish race up and engulf the whole rig and turn. Sometimes with that single slow death hook, you can not get hooks on that. But with that little tiny micro treble at the very top side of the slow death hook, when those things get buried in the gummy part of their lips, they're not coming off. Perch on?
Fish on.
Fish on.
Little.
Little one. Clams he's got. This is at least the perch.
Little, or nice
Oh,
perch.
a big perch.
Nice perch.
Show that one off.
Haha.
And Brian, explain who that's going to.
This is going to Jessica, my wife. If you throw a perch back,
Which I did.
yeah, John, she would not like that too much. So this is going to Jess. That's a perfect eater for her.
We like to set bow bottom bouncers. Some of these are in our just flat Traxstech cradle holder we have right here. There's times, especially like Bryce said on that crayfish bite, you've got to make sure you've got some rods that don't have boards on it, where you can just really manipulate the leads out to make sure you're just ticking perfectly.
I do 15 different lakes in Michigan. I start my season in April on Detroit River, and I kind of work my way north, start fishing the northern lakes, Mullet, Leelanau, come right after the mayfly hatch, which is usually in July. So if you guys want to get up here, I'll fish from now until the end of October, and the fishing will get better as the fall goes on. You can find me on Facebook, my website, tobecaught.com, but check it out if you guys want to get up on beautiful northern Michigan and get on some walleyes.
Brian, also can take you fishing in Muskegon and Traverse City, lots of different lakes, White Lake, Newaygo County, tons of stuff. Trust me, it's worth your time.
Yep.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Products, Flo-Fast, world's leading portable fluid transfer system, Drotto, catch and release boat system,
WavePro high-performance boat pedestals eliminate bottoming out and back-jarring impacts. Now available the 2.0 version and slider seat hubs. The best in air shock technology provides a controlled return to keep you on your seat. Fast and easy to install with permanent mounts or movable hubs for quick and easy seat placement in 10 to 16-inch models. WavePro high-performance boat pedestals, best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.
And we'll let Brett show you this great fish.
He's into that other line, Mark, so keep good pressure on him.
It's going to be
Still
fine.
a nice fish.
It's going to be fine.
It's a real nice fish. There he is.
Yeah. Nice.
That is
So what we're doing right here while we bring this in is we just came off. We're working a 22 to 25 foot break edge that slides out to 31. The big fish have been coming on the deep side of the slide or the turn. Right when you make that turn, the inside boards here will go, or a bouncer board.
Good.
You know it's a big one when you can feel it fighting behind the board.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we're excited to get this one in the boat. But yeah, again, it's really, really important to be paying attention to details. Keeper, we'll take him.
Yes,
Got
sir.
into a line. It's a nice, perfect size eater. And again, Mitch's last mish fish was on a blue and silver blade. This is a silver smile blade with blue beads on the smile. So that means that this color combination has been hit twice immediately. Pay attention to those details as well. Color can matter when the fish are biting. So one of the most important tools on any fisherman's boat is this bow mount trolling motor. I use the Garmin Force, and one of the things I love about this particular trolling motor is not only does it have all the features, the anchor, the heading hold, the spot lock, all the other stuff that you really need. This has two things that I love, and that on the key fob itself, when I'm on heading hold, when I go right or left, every time I push this, that you hear that beep, that's 1 degree. So I can actually just, without having to get a visual, I know I can move that boat 5 degrees just by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my left turn or right turn. The second thing I love is it's totally brushless, which means I can stand right next to that thing at full throttle and you cannot hear it. So it isn't sending out electronic pulses into the water, which, you know, some people say they do or they don't scare fish. I really don't care if they do. I just love the fact that I can't hear the motor. The Garmin Force trolling motor also has one last feature. That brushless feature causes it to really sip electricity. Yesterday I trolled 8 hours straight at 2 miles an hour. Plugged my boat in last night. When I went to unplug it, it was still on the yellow charging barge, which means it wasn't even charged fully. Today we've already been out almost 5 hours and we're trolling right along, and I'm still on green right there on my battery indicator on the trolling motor. So this thing really, really maximizes the electricity that you have in your batteries. Garmin Force trolling motor with their handheld key fob. It's a great tool. I use it almost every day that I fish. Thank you.
Bingo! Ho, ho. Look at that one.
That's a, hey, who wanted to take that spin and glow off?
Mark.
Me.
Mark.
It was Mark.
Look at that.
Yeah, they do. That is it too. Cow.
That right there is beautiful. Tell you what, guys, the Mullet Lake fishery is alive and well if you pay attention to details and you do the right thing. And that is live bait, slow, in marks, on structure, or just off of structure. You know, a lot of people might think we're randomly trolling out here. There's no way we're randomly trolling. That fish is a product of Brian bumping against the structure, pulling off the structure, going over depressions. A hole as simple as going from 27 to 30 and then back up to 27. That depression, that 30-foot depression, can hold negative and neutral fish, and the active fish are just up higher in the column. And so being able to have good electronics, use common sense, maintain speed, and most importantly, stay locked into your program, and you can put limits like this in the boat.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Kraft, the toughest built aluminum boats, bar none. Dreamweaver, home of the revolutionary Spin Doctor. Lose, feel the difference. WavePro, best ride on the water.
Make loading and unloading your boat easy with the Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch. Load with ease. Simply drive on the trailer and the Drotto will automatically latch to your bow eye. A hard plastic liner protects your boat. For launching, back your boat in, pull the release lever, and away you go. For roller or bunk trailers, the Drotto is quick and easy to install and works with most V-hull boats. Spend less time at the landing and more time fishing. The Drotto Catch and Release Automatic Boat Latch. Online at DrottoProducts.com.
Let me get on this thing.
Net on that big boy. When they pull that board back, you think it'd be a little...
Oh yeah, nice fish.
Yeah.
Lift? Not yet.
He
Not
doesn't
yet,
want to
though.
come up.
He doesn't want it.
So,
Oh, Fry, show that one.
bingo.
Show that one. Yep, death rigs and the slow death rigs have been the ticket today.
And that's probably one of the most used tactics that I use pretty much all summer is that slow death rig. I use it all the way from southern Michigan to northern Michigan. It's effective pretty much everywhere. So we're up on Mullet Lake, and I say Mullet Lake, but I use these two rigs here, the Walleye Nation Creation double treble hook. It's a slow death rig, and it's got a little treble hook on there. But that death rig right there, it's got a big enough bend in it, I can run a full crawler and it will still spin the worm. The other one is a Northland butterfly blade. I mostly care about the action. The slow death rig, or the super death rig, it kind of originated out in the Midwest, but it's something I use on all the bodies of water that I guide on. I'll even use it on Lake Erie, Saginaw Bay. Pretty much works everywhere, but these two companies right here have a great product, and they put fish in the boat. You guys can see it today that they work really well. You can run it behind an inline weight, suspended, or you can run it on a bottom bouncer. It doesn't really matter. John put this here on. It's got a nice floater on it, the Walleye Nation Creation one. It kept that bait up off the bottom. We had a lot less weeds with it. Where the Northland one, we're still running it on bottom bouncers, but you got to kind of suspend that weight up off the bottom so it stays out of the weeds just a little bit. So both great products. I suggest that you guys would try them. They work really well. Check them out.
And I got one on the Walleye Nation Creation right now. Yeah.
That's a keeper too.
I know, it's a keeper. 15. Somebody get the net.
There's stuff everywhere.
There is stuff everywhere. On the Walleye Nation Creation. Let me have that fish. And we'll show you just what we're talking about here. So this is the Walleye Nation Creation rig that I've been using somewhat on just one rod today, and it's caught 3 really nice fish, and now this one. And this one, I'll try to hold it properly. This one, he missed the treble, but of course, you got this great big slow death harness hook on it, and that board barely moved just a little bit, and we noticed it, but there you get a perfect example. You can catch them on either the little treble, or you can catch them right there on the big hook. Little floater helps counteract the weight of the two hooks, and it just is a spinner. It's almost like a spinning globe, but I really like this because it's super subtle and it can spin at super slow speeds. Love this rig. You know, the Indian River area is an awesome place to fish. The two primary lakes that feed the tourism of the Indian River are Burt Lake and Mullet Lake, and of course the inland waterway itself. But also Crooked Lake also feeds through the inland waterway, and that's an awesome opportunity. Today we chose to fish Mullet Lake. Now Mullet Lake is an absolute mecca for fishermen. It offers a diverse fishery of walleye, smallmouth bass, perch, and also steelhead in the month of September and all season long if you're a steelhead aficionado. One of the cool things about the Mullet Lake aspect is that this is a year-round fishery on Mullet Lake. It offers some awesome ice fishing. So visitors to Indian River really have access to Crooked Lake, the inland waterway, Burt Lake, the inland waterway, and then on to Mullet Lake, and then you could continue on right out onto Lake Huron. So it's a really cool experience. Now, if you're coming up here, I would say the fishing season really gets going in earnest in early May with the pre-season smallmouth catch and release season. All summer long it offers awesome opportunities for perch, walleye, smallmouth bass, even largemouth bass. And then in the fall again, all the way through October, awesome fishing. So if you're planning a trip to northern Michigan and you haven't stopped at Indian River, put Indian River on your bucket list of places to fish because it is awesome fishing, as you saw from today's show. Well guys, thanks so much for joining us today on Fisherman's Digest. Obviously a stupid awesome show. Take a look in that basket. Brett will show you firsthand. You want a great trip? Call Brian Bice, To Be Caught Charters, 616-293-0256, and he'll put you on some great fish. We'll see you next week on Fisherman's Digest.
Closed captioning is brought to you by WavePro. Best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.